My name is Bryant Fitts. I'm a lawyer located in Houston, Texas, and we help people who are involved in car accidents, truck accidents, and industrial refinery explosions. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to maximize the value of a whiplash claim in a auto or truck accident setting. First, to maximize the value of your whiplash claim, you must establish who is responsible. So if you're asking somebody to compensate you for some sort of injury, you've got to make sure you have the right party who caused your harm. So in this circumstance, if somebody ran a red light and hit you, that's pretty obvious that they caused your injury. Now, in some auto or truck accident situations, it's not completely their fault. Somebody else hit them, and all of a sudden you've got varying degrees of fault. So the number one way to maximize the value of your whiplash claim is to make sure you have the right party who's most responsible for your claim. In an industrial refinery setting, sometimes there can be various people who caused your injury, but you always want to make sure you are asking the person who most responsible for causing your injury to pay you the money to compensate you for your damages. Number two, you've got to document your whiplash injuries. Whiplash by nature is not an injury that is easily identifiable using medical imaging or x-rays or MRIs. It's typically a strain or sprain of the back or neck, and most doctors will tell you that it gets better over time. So for you just to say, hey, my neck hurt for 3 days, well, that's not going to maximize the value of your whiplash claim. You've got to document your injuries, and you've got to report them to your doctor. So if you're experiencing whiplash in an auto accident or truck accident or any other situation where you're asking somebody to compensate for your damages, you need to report the injuries as soon as you experience them to a medical doctor, and you have to fully report them. You've got to talk about everything that's going on that's affecting your whiplash. You can't just say my back and neck hurts. You've got to be very descriptive so they'll take note of that and figure out how to treat you. Once you leave the doctor's office, you need to be creating a daily journal of how that whiplash is affecting your life. The more information your lawyer has, or the more information you have to present to the other side about your injuries, the higher likelihood they are to pay you more money for your claim. If you simply tell them that your neck or your back hurt for 3 weeks, that doesn't give them a whole lot to go by. You've got to be very descriptive. For example, if you missed some very important milestone in your life, or you missed a family vacation because you were injured, you've got to be prepared to show the insurance adjuster or show the other side that you missed it. You can't just say I missed it. You got to have documentation. Show them the reservations you had and that you didn't show up for the flight, but be prepared to have that information. As you continue treating, at some point you're going to reach what I would call the best you're going to get. And that's when you want to try to present your damages as completely as possible to the other side. I would never recommend trying to resolve a claim or maximizing the value of a whiplash claim before you're completely 100% back to normal, or at least as close as you're ever going to be. When you get to this point, you've got to order all of your medical records, you have to order your billing records, and you have to present a letter to the other side, typically an insurance adjuster, explaining all of your injuries and how it's impacted your life. And if you've got pain and suffering, you got to talk about when and how you experienced it. You've got to be detailed, and you've got to present your medical records and your medical bills, and you have to make a demand. Typically, when you or your lawyer makes this demand, they're going to give probably about a 30-day response window for the other side to respond, and they'll typically respond within the 30 days and make an offer, and then plan on having a handful of days after that to negotiate the offer. And when you make your demand, always make sure you demand more than you expect, so you've got a little room to negotiate. The other side's going to expect to negotiate. So in summary, to maximize the value of your whiplash claim, you first have to make sure you have the responsible party. Next, you've got to make sure you report your injuries and you treat your injuries with a doctor. And you've got to fully report your injuries to the doctor. And you've got to fully treat your injuries through your doctor or your physical therapy or whoever is helping you get better. And finally, you've got to document your damages. You've got to document your pain and suffering using a journal, document your pain and suffering in some fashion so you can explain what you experienced while you were injured. And if you have a lost wage component, you've got to make sure you have proof of those lost wages. If you have any questions, post them in the comments section below or give us a call at 1-800-99-FITS or contact us through our website. Thank you.